Hey, looks like the room looks pretty good here, actually. I was trying to have it a little bit blurry. Is there a way to do that, actually? Going live by webcam. No, we're just gonna have to do it. So I've officially been in this office now 1 week. I believe the last stream here, which should have been like 9 days ago, was in this office. It was super echoey, so I started filling it up with stuff. And this door here, I hope I have it on record, because I want to see what it looks like. It looks so much better with this now. It's cool. This feels like a streamer's room. This Pokemon Center back here, I might end up moving just because it looks a little crappy. Like if it was not here, this looks like a nice, hey, Victor's room, Victor's office. Um, but yes, okay, long overdue for a stream now. And specifically talking to you now, Iman, let's kind of start getting moving on seeing what the first trade might be for us for you. Um, I've always kind of wanted to treat these streams as a thought process and to build some sort of structure. Up until now, it's like I naturally want to do so much that there's somewhat of a structure, but it's still a lot of things floating around. Let me go ahead and record this. So yes, as I was saying, structure. Um, pop this out. Hide transcript. That'd be nice. Okay, yeah. So the original intention here, and it's still the intention, is to build a system so we can identify certain periods where we should go in heavy in the market or just observe. And that's demonstrated through the gigantic plays that we have been exploring and then the weekly plays. Um, it feels like since trading is not my main occupation, it's not my main task, this is not my main project. Uh, it feels like I'm fighting against time. Like even when I'm creating this live right now, feels like I'm already thinking about the next thing that I have to do that has nothing to do with this. So I feel like from that perspective, it's not going to give you the best results, especially when you're dealing with such a competitive field like trading and making your money make more money. And in order for you to make money, someone needs to lose money. That's how competitive this is, and you're facing not just people. Like I'm a person that puts several hours a week into trading. Well, you're playing against people who are putting dozens of hours a week plus bots that are putting 24/7, 365 computer learning algorithms. So it's kind of not fair to think that we're going to have a home run when we don't put the home run effort in there. That being said, I have some positions that are opened over the week, over the last several days, and let's highlight why they're doing well right now. This Zcash position I opened barely an hour ago, and like up here actually, so it was like 35 minutes ago. Came up about 3.5%. Now we're still up on it, but it's come back down. Mainly, I want to look at this hype position and this Ethereum position, as well as this Solana position. Now, and also this oil position. We'll start with the oil since it's supposed to be inversely correlated with um, risk markets. It's kind of been floating around here, but floating higher actually. I want to say also that we are 20 minutes away from market open, so expect some shenanigans to happen. We've been creeping up into the open. I would hope that it opens up higher, but the market wasn't doing well on Friday, and I think that that would continue as well. There's so many things that are happening. With the president brought a whole entourage to China that involved like the CEO of the top 15 largest American companies in the world. And I kind of called that to be the top kind of sell the news type of thing. And it looks like that's the case. We shorted last week, unfortunately, and got our ass handed to us. If I shorted last Thursday and then added to it on Friday and then Monday, and then kind of chickened out on Wednesday just because I was so much pain. And I almost kind of realized as I was closing the positions, it was just like so painful that you have to take action sometime. And like those are usually the times where you're not supposed to close, which proved to be the case this time around again. Um, but yeah, if I had taken the action this Thursday that I did last Thursday, it'd be a completely different story. We wouldn't have lost 20 plus $1,000. We would have like tripled that. And that's why I'm highlighting that this is such a competitive type of in task because it's as easy as disappear or multiply. And though we lost 25,000, we had more invested in the market. So it was like very short the market. And it's like we could have tripled or at least doubled, right? If it was 50K in the market, you make 50K. And then I cut the losses on Wednesday down that 25K. So it's like, you're basically making a 3 to 1. It's like a 3 to 1. It's a 200% risk reward there. So I would always take that any time of the day, as long as like that type of risk reward is really good. It's timing that really matters. And I could blame a whole bunch of factors. And the one I would blame is that I was going in with limited information, not really paying attention, and just kind of knowing where I wanted it to be and starting a position, but like really not holding through on it. Um, and so like I shouldn't have opened it if I wasn't gonna hold it through. Um, and also I shouldn't have opened it. Yeah, I shouldn't have opened if I wasn't gonna hold it through, and I should have waited if I wanted to open it. Yeah, yeah. And I believe I highlighted that. I did. That was my last stream. It was like I'm gonna be early. Like it's always gonna be early. It's gonna feel early. But yeah, I truly was too early at that point. Um, and yeah, so that was a sell the news. I believe that's what's happened. The Genius Act passed on Friday as well, coincidentally on the 15th. Everything is kind of coming to a head. We're hitting all time highs on so many different things. The Nasdaq, S&P, semiconductors have been up like 10x, 3x over the last like 3 4 months on the SOXL. So it's like everything is coming to a place where it's going to come to a screeching halt, and it's possible that that had happened on Friday. Um, so okay, so that's where I messed up, right? Yay, happy to always admit where I mess up. Um, where I did not mess up is what you see here. Where in the profit, I didn't open up huge positions, right? So my biggest position here is 40,000, but I have a stop loss. I have a stop loss on all of these, and they never hit, which is great. Um, but yeah, coincidentally, one of my smaller positions here is up pretty good. It's hype. and I think hype is just going to be on its way up to 90, $100. That's very soon, sooner rather than later. The Genius Act, I believe, is going to help hype specifically, and we're going to see hype in the headlines a lot more. We'll revisit that chart soon. I have a fractal going, and I think that we're following pretty much to the T here. I just want to highlight that I wouldn't be in these profits if I kind of gave into my feelings. So when I opened these positions, it was like pretty late. It was like late Thursday or Friday night, and it was like, I guess it was like Friday night, Thursday night. Yeah, it was Thursday night because I spent all Friday not touching anything, and I had this urge, this feeling to close the positions before I went to sleep. They're too much, as you see here. There, I have like 130, $140,000 positions open, and it's like, why do I have oil open if I have crypto open as well? They're inversely correlated. Um, what I did instead of giving into that fear was to set the stop loss, calculate how much I would lose, which would be like pretty decent. It would be like 1/4 of my entire portfolio here if the stop losses were to hit, because you have to set wider stop losses. You don't, the worst feeling in the world is like getting your stop loss tag to the penny, which has happened to me so many times because you set such a conservative stop loss and then it goes and does the original move. So you want to give it, you just basically want a stop loss that's going to prevent disaster, right? Um, and then wait for the upside. So I haven't touched any positions since then, and it looks like they're doing pretty good. Up 2.2K overall. They were up 3K about like 20 minutes ago. But there's going to be some volatility going into the market open here, which I do believe is going to be a gap down. I'm very tempted to just start to close some positions now again, which most likely is going to be the right move. But we're gonna treat this as a free roll here. We haven't had our stop losses, and we're up on the positions. Taking a look at hype over here. Yeah, this looks quite good. Like it's attempting the next push up, which we will achieve if the market does gap up. So I hope it does gap up, not down. And you could just see that hype is definitely the play here. It's going to hit 100. So if you were to jam $1 million in here, you can make $1 million. But you'd have to at least pay 100K worth of fees and to keep the position open over the time where it takes for it to do that. Um, but yeah, that would be a set and forget play that is pretty much guaranteed in my mind. But yes, we're gonna look through some charts today and live see what the market's doing during the open, and that's kind of it. Like I said at the top of this, I feel like I'm chasing after time right now, and it's not a comfortable feeling. Just take it easy, take a pulse on the market, calm down, do the next thing that I plan on doing, and then hopefully these will be more regular live streams that I can do throughout the week, and that will allow me to feel more comfortable, more in my zone when I'm thinking about trading, when I'm thinking about the markets, and it might come at a very opportune time because this is a very good market we're looking at here. Anyways, a little bit of a. I haven't touched anything, by the way, on TradingView. I looked at some alerts, but you can kind of see here my last time that I actually looked at TradingView would have been the 14th, probably. Yeah, probably on the 14th over here, which is not too long ago. But I also don't touch the charts. I haven't touched the charts, and I'm trying to say that because I want to illustrate how perfect this fractal was for Solana Ethereum, and it's interesting because when we hit this area for the first time, I had an alert set here. I thought maybe Ethereum would outperform Solana in the sense where Ethereum just keeps going up and Solana keeps going up. But instead, that was actually a top. Like here's Ethereum. right? And here's the top. Here's where that Solana thing hit, like right there, right? You can see this cursor. Ethereum comes up, Solana comes up higher, and then what happens is there's a huge dump, and they're just kind of correlated. So I probably wouldn't have played this right anyways, other than like, hey, just sell Solana. That's probably like the most perfect play actually is sell Solana um, instead of what I was thinking, which would have been like rotate into Ethereum, right? Which actually wouldn't have been bad because you'd still be your money would still be worth more in Ethereum than it was if you hold into Solana. That's what this chart is. It's like, all right, if I trade, like you think of Solana as the USD and you think of Ethereum as gold. It's like I'll take my 1,000 US dollars and put it into gold, and then gold goes up in price. Then you have more US dollars, right? So it's the same thing here. Um, Ethereum, if you take put your Solana into Ethereum, and then the value goes down against Ethereum, and if Ethereum's value goes up relative to Solana, then you have technically more Solana if you push it back. But anyways, this is like a short-term thing, but this is very important. Like we have just hit this major resistance area that was drawn out like who even knows when I put this. This is before we cracked down under it. So we came to retest it. It's very possible that we're going to follow some sort of this fractal, which is not a good thing. Like, spoiler alert, it looks terrible. This fractal is literally the same breakdown as the previous fractal. Like, it's this, right? So if this happens, then we're going to end up lower. And either Ethereum is going to be super, super strong, or all of crypto is going to be weak, and then Solana is going to be even weaker. And I don't like Solana under $90, which at this moment is at 86. So not a good sign. I'm just here riding some bottom buys. Who knows when I'm going to sell them? But it's here right now. Okay. I want it over 90, which is like a long way from here, to be honest. I want it over here in 4% up in order to feel comfortable. If anything, this retest to the bottom of under 90 would be a bearish thing. So, yeah, it's hard for me to feel uber bullish on this market here. But at the same time, tentative, I have these positions open, and privacy is moving very well too. So we got that position in Zcash, which is nice. I notoriously took a huge lump on Zcash on its way up to 650 the other week. But we are back on the long side now. Another thing that I love seeing is the fact that we got ore up to $90 now. I was able to sell off roughly a third. Let's really zoom into this. There's that one candle that messed all of that up. Okay. Yeah, I was able to close to 100, like when it came up over here. Iman, you gave me an alert on that, which was good. I was able to take some profits. It was like $15,000 worth of profits. Boom. Then it went up to about 110, and I took another $5,000 worth of profits there. I was able to load up in the 80s, like right here, literally an hour or two ago. The $6,000. So I put a little bit back. It's because this is a privacy coin. Zcash is doing well. All privacy coins doing well. On my board, I have it written. This is like back in December, or was at like $97 or something like that. So that would have been right here, February. No, it would have been, I guess, like, yeah, it was probably like here, $97. And so we rolled this all the way down. Now we're kind of at this area where, hey, if privacy coins are going to make that second resurgence, I want to see ore hit its all-time highs. I'm not afraid though to sell all of it. If we come up here and tag this, and all privacy coins start to look bad, Bitcoin, crypto is looking bad. Economy's looking bad. Um, yeah, I'm happy to sell and then buy back down here. That's fine with me. Um, we have a whole lot invested into ore. So if we were to be able to double our bag down here, I'm perfectly okay with that. Um, let's see what the more broad crypto market is doing. Four is kind of doing its thing. It's doing its zigzag thing. Yeah, this is a limited list here. Um, Not really diving too deep into like crypto related things at the moment. We could look at some stock related stuff. But yeah, long story short, I closed all of my short positions on Wednesday, which ended up being decent going into Thursday because it kept going up. Then it cracked. Friday was a heavy drop, and you know that you gotta be able to time the markets effectively. So this is the iPad. And this is what I'm staring at basically all day. Or like I could look up and this is what I see. I'm liking what I'm seeing here on Zcash. Quite solid. It's building a base right where this support resistance flip is. It comes down to here. It even took out some of these stop losses, and then now we're pushing up again. If we can push up into this area, you can put $1 million in Zcash. It's gonna go towards all-time highs again. That's why I like Zcash. That's why I like Or. But we'll see because Ethereum's looking like crap. We could potentially hit these pivots up here. I would hope that if we hit these pivots, I mean, this is hourly, so there's a lot of pivots. Um, yeah, but hype is just going for it. Like there's certain you can see the outperformance. Crypto has reached the stage of um, similar to the stock market. There's always a bull market somewhere, and hype is in its bull cycle, and we're looking at Zcash making its push as well. It's funny how these are the things that I'm watching. It's good. I've been able to identify some pretty good, uh, fundamentally sound coins. Um, yeah. Meanwhile, you kind of see the majors that are taking this. What do you call that? It's just being sold off. It's not valuable. Um, but yeah, we're 2 minutes. We're 4 minutes until the market open. Hype's looking real good there too. I think what I'll do here is go log hunt. This was a perfect fractal over here though. We're pushing into here. That if it was to follow this fractal, that means we're coming down to test this area, maybe a couple of times, and then ultimately we won't be able to find the juice to get through this resistance and then puke. Um, it might even happen earlier because we're looking at Dr. Profit. He's saying he's shorting 10% of his entire portfolio for the next 10 days, regardless of what the price is. So he's putting all his money, he's putting all his eggs in the short basket. He's already fully allocated in his S&P short. It hit the fourth one back on Thursday. So this might happen a lot faster. This could be the top. Like it feels like it quite possibly is. But we shall see. I keep getting this alert on Link. This is from MindTrader. So Let's see. We had this alert previously, and it did make a decent push up. This is on. Oh, this is Dogecoin. It made a decent push up that one time here. Boom. And now it's coming down to retest it on April 24th. Right? Perfect, Iman. We're getting the dates, we're marking the time, and now we're seeing it's kind of testing it on the underside. It's it would be nice, like you want to see it retest and come back up, you know? This would be so clean if that happened. A double up on there. So what I'd like to see is to flip this pivot, which I'm fine to do. If our first target is 17 bucks, I'm happy to give it a little time for it to cross this pivot over here, over at 10. That would be like 3%. Yeah, that would be a 3%. We'd be giving up. We'd be giving up like 5%, I guess, in order to make the 65%. Yeah, I don't mind that. Um, awesome oscillator. This is nice. It's actually RSI positive here too. Things look like, I mean, if we're looking from a bull's perspective, things are kind of shaping up here. You know, Dr. Profit got new channels now. He hasn't actually yet said anything in them. So we can just simply type in doctor. And then we can see what he's saying. No Sunday report today. All right, we're in. Gingerly, da da da. Okay. Yeah, he hasn't really said anything in a couple days. So, yeah, let's just kind of we can get rid of this now. It's just a lot of them, and then yeah, I don't mind not seeing this alert because I want to see it go to the upside. It's not like we're shorting it or anything. We're gonna wait for it to long. Okay, it's 6 p.m. officially. We just have that little spike down there. Let's see what's going on with the S&P. Is there a gap? Is it? Oh, we're moving up. That's good. Yeah, yeah. Immediate push to the upside is nice. Um, look at that BTC. Hey, we're in a different cycle too. We're in a, I guess, blue is a full moon. Is a full moon cycle, which is actually bearish. Look at this drawing. What? Oh man, that looks pretty on point. Let's get this line here. Man, if we come back down here and then zip up, that would be such a confusing thing to trade. Let's see. We were up 2.4 before, and it's rapidly dropping. Rapidly. Look at that. Oh my. Look at that reaction. This does not look good. Looks awful. Oil is going up. Oil is spiking. Um, yeah, Solana might not be a good one to look at because it's scary. We got Zcash here. Like that's also a thing too. Zcash, XMR, these things usually when they pump independently, marks a top, and it makes sense. Those are untraceable cryptos, and people who are trying to get rid of their coins, they would go to untraceable cryptos. So for those to spike in volume and go up in price right before the exit, like having that be the exit pump is actually makes sense. So as I'm saying that, we're rapidly losing our net worth. 2.5 to 1.9. Can't back out now. We just have to ride this through, I think. I don't want to. I don't want to just because what I'd hope was we gap up and then it continues, like it breaks out. Right here for hype, it just this could just be a fail, a double top fail, a swing failure pattern. Like you want to have this break out. But yeah, I mean it's just been the first minute, so you can't really like it looks quite good here. The S&P is doing well. Nasdaq gapping up. This all looks perfectly fine. So you don't need to. This is the Dow. Yeah, we're doing fine. No need to like jump the gun just yet. We're up money too. I'd like to see hype break out here. If anything, you just kind of load up all your funds into hype. This is the best looking chart in crypto right now. Let's open it. Open it up. This whatever happened to Chainlink kind of scared me. It's just like it came straight down into support and it's not doing anything. What do I want to do with this one? I think there's laws. It's plausible for us to see if we can retest this, and then I mean, yeah. These are the two lines here that I draw for this. But we're looking at hype. Yeah. Where's that one with the fractal? Because that's the one I want to pay attention to. Where's that chart with the fractal? Look at this. This is just beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and draw this next one in as well. Each time we're going higher. 60 is our peak. We're gonna blow straight through that sometime this year. But maybe it's the Binance one. There you go. It's the Bybit one. So maybe this was like high hopes. I wanted this to happen. I wanted to get it into get it in the 20s because we'd be up heavy if we just did that back in January. Which wow, this coincided with such a huge historic crash, and it just hype basically ignored that, and it's up so much. But yeah, this fractal looks like it's really doing its thing. It's working. It's working. I'm gonna get rid of this because this is never gonna happen. Like I hope we can get $20 at some point, but then that might be too late. What is this? Oh, I drew this too. I don't know why. Okay. Well, yeah. You kind of hate seeing this. The Batman ears. You want the breakout. We'll buy the breakout if it happens. So if we get an alert here, yay. We're up 2.3 now. That looks good. I'm a fan of this. We even turned a profit on our other hype one. We're down like 500 on this earlier today. So that's cool that we now have turned a profit on that one. Oh hey, we hit our first target too. Bing. Take profit one, which I guess in March, it was placed in March. Yeah, amazing. Just simply amazing how long it takes for certain things to happen. 200 EMA. Yeah, let's check the EMA. What is this? 200 EMA. Do you get that on the weekly? No, you get it on a daily though. Yeah, I never really did touch the 200 EMA, but I actually like that as an alert. We're gonna do that. Yeah. Which one is it? MA1? What's the purple one? Oh yeah, MA1. Let's do that. Crossing, links per bar. If we ever tap on the 200, I'm going in. And I think just generally think that's a good way to trade. Is just look at the 200 EMA. Right? Like, why don't we just do that forever for everything? All these different signals and such. But yes, okay, great. I like that we hit our take profit one on this. Now, this alert is kind of what got me to open up some long positions, and we're kind of living in this area here, right? Delete this. Right here. This could be a test, right? A test on the underside. I really want to see Ethereum. Like, I just don't think it will. Yeah, I believe it will never. It'll never. It's just look at these perfect taps on the 200 too. It's disgusting. Like, it's following it to a T. So it's possible that we can get this tap into this region here, maybe 2,500, something like that. That might happen. I don't think we see these targets though, but we'll leave them. We'll leave them here. I at least want him to. I want this 15% to go. Rocket Mortgage, I wanted to get, and I was actually beating myself up. I'm like, damn, I forgot to buy Rocket Mortgage. I wonder what price it is. Then we hit the alert. Hey, it's doing really bad. The largest mortgage company in the world is doing really bad. I don't know what that's supposed to mean for the economy. Yeah. Uh, what I'd like to do is to potentially position myself for a multi-year uptrend. And at this moment, it might not be the case, right? So wherever it is, like how long does it take typically? And this is just pseudo charting at this point. But if we look at the bottom, it was the end of 2022. So it would have been here. From this bottom, it took about 225 days for it to go 70%. Then it came all the way back down here, right? And then from this bottom to this top was also less than a year. Okay. And then all the way back down. This is insane. I don't know if I ever would buy this long term. This is what? You got to take your profits because, wow. But this one took about a year. So we kind of get between 9 months to a year from a bottom. All right. That's cool. So then that would probably be the note that I put here. But I would want to put it in here in our stock layout. Now we're talking. Oops. All right. So, oh, and we have this nice. Oh, wow. This is a channel that's being drawn. I don't hate this. Uh, like if we were to buy this and then do we end up somewhere higher than this a year from now? Well, I mean, it does look like that is the trend. I don't hate that actually. Bottom channel, top channel, bottom channel, top channel, bottom channel. And then however we hold it for, then we go top channel, double your money. Let's write some notes for sure. Maybe let's stop it. Stop it. Let's write a pin call out. Yeah, sure. Uh, biggest 93% died within 12 months from here. Maybe 12 to 15 months. Yeah. Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. We're gonna move this down over here. I would like it to kind of touch these reversion bands, which they're not reversion bands. These are just simple. I think they're also reversion bands. Uh, see what this looks like on the reversion bands. Long-term thesis. Fine. I like that here. There's a version of this with reversion bands. The machine learning bands. Right here. These guys right there. All right. I want to be touching these red. Like here. Ding, 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 ding. If it's going to do some red boxes, ding, 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 ding. Pow. Then we pop up, right? Ding, 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 ding. Got some white candles along with some crazy red boxes. Bow. 60%. There's no red boxes, but we got some green boxes up here. Every time we touch in these green boxes, smack. This is almost a guarantee. Every time we touch these green boxes, smack. Even this one. Wow, that was a big smack. I like this. I like this. I do like this. Do it like this. Maybe in the micro bowl. I would consider this for the micro bowl. Rocket. And then the reason why I like this here is because it's following these rule sets pretty well. Like it's doing what you would expect it to from a technical perspective. So it's riding this. It hits these red with white candles, and then what happens next? Boom, 60%. That's crazy. That's crazy. Imagine if you were able to just make 60% every 60% on your money within 6 months every year. You just go all in every time, no? Like this too. Boom. Right? Like even if you sold when the first greens hit, then it comes up into this reversion band. Yeah, this is I really like Rocket Mortgage. Hims as a long-term play. Like there's a lot. There's a lot. But I like that we're on this micro bull. Look at the micro bull list. We're up. Micro bull is looking quite goodish. Let's actually see what's going on with Monad over here. This looks a little messy, but it really is a method to what's happening here. All right, fine. I reserve these other ones for different tickers. Do I care? I care what Doge is doing. I do. And it's not doing well. Are we still up 2.4? Ouch. Nope, we're not. Market looking weak. Hype is doing well though. Hype is actually doing fine. The longer we live up here without breaking out though, the bigger the fall it will be. But yeah, Ethereum is now in the negative. Solana's now in the negative. That's not a good indication. Oil's still doing quite well. Wow. TikTok, maybe? Because we're looking at 1.8 now. And then oil's doing its thing a bit. Is it a John Fill the Wick moment? We got a little wick developing here. or is it like SFP? SFP into a stop here would be nice because that means everything else is going to be doing well. Yeah, hype here is actually in the red now too. Man, do I just wow? I need to think about this one. Ugh, I so super want this to go my way, but it's probably the top here. Look at Zcash. Just all right. We're gonna start closing some. Yeah, yeah. The thing I love about this platform here, this interface that I'm using. It's absolutely 100% free. They actually make money from um the exchanges themselves. They actually save me money, and everything is just a lot simple. I just click two things, and it gives me the best possible price with the least amount of fees. Just it's awesome overall. Shout out to Insilico, which is yeah, they've been retired for a while, but the dude's kind of crazy. He's got really strong opinions about genocide and stuff. Okay, so we're leaving our height positions open, and I could have been a little bit early to selling. I sold the whole Zcash position just because that one might reverse the most. Like if it does reverse, it's going to be giving a lot back versus like Ethereum, which would give a lot. It would take longer to come down. I'm not selling the high position either. Great. So we're back into the green here. Helium was doing good for me. Like it actually, I bought when the I bought like here. I think I got it like here, and yeah, it pulled like 120% for me, and so that was cool. So I'm kind of like watching it still here. Have a small position open versus like the bigger position I had previously. Um, it's actually also the best coin, the best looking chart in crypto that I've seen. There's like this, and then there's MON, which we were looking at. I don't know what Helium does. I just bought it because it's HUSD. Yeah, this looks decent, but look at these double rejections. Not good. It would be so weird if it did one of these things. So maybe it comes back down first and then up. This, yeah, it doesn't look as good. This is super clean. This is like wow, amazing, amazing. Still not bad. Oh wow, then now it just looks terrible. Whereas helium looks quite good, right? There's that initial push. It went from freaking 2 cents all the way up to 38 cents. So it makes sense that it would take a long time to come back around. This looks like a shit coin. But yeah, this was very productive here. One can argue that this was the end of it, but it came back down, build a base, and we're above it. I think that's the most important. This is why it's such a beautiful chart, is because it's above all this garbage from the past. So what is it going to go and break all-time highs now? I don't know what it does, but yeah, maybe. It looks like this chart makes me feel like fundamentally it's a good coin. So yeah, we got a couple G's in there. Um, but yeah, Monad, we were looking at it, and I don't know. I don't know. I need to get to. I think let me write this down because what I definitely need is a credit investor, and then start to put these money into um, Echo, which Monad was one of the first backing in Echo, and it was launched at like 30 cents, so it's still like under IPO price. That's why I'm kind of bullish on it. It's just people are unloading. Obviously, there's so much sell pressure. Once the sell pressure's gone, though, once we like, I guess, get above this convincingly, yeah, we're good. We're good to go. 1.7 now. Sheesh. Okay. And then what else did I want to do here? Yeah, I think that's well all right. Great. 1.8. We're floating around this high ones. If we get to the low ones, I might start cutting more. Um, yeah, but we're looking at these alerts and I was admiring my watch list. Yeah, we got Solana. Solana hit the map. Hey, ore's looking good too. Still nice. We haven't given it all up yet. This is strong. This is foundationally strong, it looks like. All right. Yeah. This was all May 15th. So like we it looked really good and then we just crapped the bed from there because manipulation, president, whatever. Wait, yeah, I gotta review what he bought. He bought like 100 different stocks over the last 3 months. And pretty sure he probably sold some crypto out over there too. So like we got pumping into May 15th. Crypto couldn't hold a bid, but the Intels and the SanDisks of the world was still going up. It was kind of like it kind of looked like this for them. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right? That's what it was looking like. Whereas we took a reverse course on crypto, and this is a downtrend now. So not looking too good on Solana, man. Like there was no catalyst. Even though we opened higher, there was no catalyst, and we're still down. So gonna exit this for a very minimum fee. We've paid $38 at this point. But yeah, I love that we can have minimum fees. Half of this. And then BTC, we're gonna lose. We're gonna have to lose 500 bucks on. But I don't mind holding hype. I like it. Look at this thing. Just strong and long. Let's go. Um, but yes, get rid of this. This is on the 15th here. So we came back down. This was looking really bullish. We actually, wow, we hit 98. I don't even remember this. It was largely not paying attention, but this move is insane. Like the fact that this move happened gives me some sort of confidence that this could just be a consolidation, right? So little people were expecting this move that the accumulators still need to kind of accumulate before coming up again. I can see that. Like similar to this scenario here. Let's just take this peek. So if it was like that was to happen here, maybe like even maybe like this. Yeah, way more volatile previously, but yeah, I mean it could turn out like this, honestly. Um yeah, it's just like we want it to be at 89.70 to be bullish, right? Let's not overcomplicate things. I'll close the position already, but I'll keep it monitored. Let's monitor 200 EMA. Where is it? Is it up here? Is this it? Oh wow. Quite the distance away. Man, we're gonna tap it at some point. That's gonna happen. So yeah, like it's gonna start to flatten out. Start to flatten out over here, right? And we'll tap that. Boom. 25%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's like 100% gonna happen. Will that be top after we retest it? Yeah, maybe. Or it could be start of the new regime. Let's see how long it takes for us to get up there. Because this accumulation is pretty big. Could this happen? Uh, uh, yeah, that could happen too. But yeah, I like this. It's probably not wrong to just continue to have Solana here. Like the closer to 80 that you can get, the better. Oh, 30%. 30% of your money. It's not as good as Rocket Mortgage, but it's a little 30% of your money. You know? What is this? On the 15th at 10 a.m. 15th? What happened at 10 a.m. 15th? Blah. The Dom. Oh, this is BTC Dom. Yeah, yeah. We were looking at this too. Um, the lower the Dom, the better the alt. That's used to be what the rule is, right? So we get BTC to give up some of its dominance, which, like, in the grand scheme of things, this is just a little blip versus what it looked like before. It's like, oh my gosh, how can it fall so much? You zoom out, it's like, it's the blip, man. That's a thing that can happen. It's happened many times. And this is like a 3x on every single alt you can imagine, or it goes to all-time highs, you know? Um, yeah, so this one's kind of calling out um, a push to the upside, though, not downside. A clean breakout above the 60. So above what? The 60.2, right? Where is this? 60.2 would be here. Why is that happening on May 15th? That's just wrong. I don't know. I'm gonna delete it. But yeah, there's still some that you would want to get through here. Let's hope we're up 2,000 or more so I can hop off this thing. Yes, we are. Cool. So that was all just, we didn't need to close our Solana. Let's see where Zcash is. I might just jump back into that one. Zach. Eh? Hey, it came back a bit. Gold here, and then now we're popping up a bit. Yeah, I might just let's throw half of that in there, and then we're gonna hop off this thing. Just because I got things to do. My brain is wired to do the next thing at this point. So over time, hopefully within the next 3 months, what I'll be rewiring my brain to do is to just be in the moment and do what it is that I want to do. What it is I'm focused on doing, I'll do. Right. Up until then, especially immediately now, I got things to do. There's things on my list. I have to catch up on stuff. Have personal things to accomplish as well, and I want to decompress before we start the week. Um, yeah, this week, if we're going to really think about what it's going to look like from a equities, financial, stock market. I believe that it's the beginning of the top. So Mondays are typically bullish, which we're kind of seeing now. So any move to the upside going into Wednesday, I kind of want to start a short position on Tuesday, but since I got hurt pretty bad, we'll wait till Wednesday. And if we're still up on Wednesday, luckily, then I'll short going into Thursday and Friday. But that sucks. I'm not going to be here. Maybe I'll just do nothing. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch from the side and see what it is. But I think equities end up lower than this week. US 500. Let's see. Which is the chart that shows the weekly open? So the weekly open is right here, obviously. Yeah, I believe that we will end up lower than this by next week, which would be 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Let's put like where would it be? I don't know. But maybe here. Going into Friday. That would be what I'd be estimating. And how do we get there? Well, it can happen in many different ways. It could be like this, right? And that would just basically be the opposite of this, right? So this is uptrend. If we were to mirror it, this is downtrend. Let's mirror flip it. Mirror flip. No, not what I'm looking for. For like this, maybe, maybe. Then we would end up right here. Yeah, let's see. Whatever. Now it's here. It's a piece of art. See if the art follows through. That is all. I will see you. Let me know if you have any notes on this one. Just kind of going through what my brain has pushed me through. So at this point, we've established a decent rhythm, some sort of process, going through the alerts, talking through what my analysis is for a certain specific charts, visiting those charts, jotting down some notes, looking at my previous notes on those said charts. And we're an hour into it. I probably want to consolidate that into 30 minutes, if not less, so that I can take the next, so I can have 30 minutes out of the hour to dedicate to looking at my notes from Discord, which I think are extremely important. There's notes to myself throughout the time, and they're only really important notes because I take the effort to put it into the Discord. And it's also notes on what other people are thinking, and that's pretty time sensitive stuff. Like if we only followed what's his name, Serenity, for this entire year, we'd be up like 11x or something. On average, we'd be up like 11x, something crazy. So I think having set aside some time for the Discord is important, and then maybe like 15 minutes, and so like it should probably be that way. It's like Section A, look at the alerts. Section B, look at Discord. Section C, create a timetable and a plan, 15 minutes. And then Section D, take the last 15 minutes to freestyle it, summarize, and then close out, just like what we're doing right now.